It's 1798. A wooden crate arrives at the British Museum from the edge of the known world, Australia. Inside, preserved in alcohol, is something impossible. A beaver's tail, a duck's bill, webbed feet, fur like an otter. The scientists don't believe it. They examine it with magnifying glasses, searching for stitches, for glue, for evidence of taxidermy fraud. One naturalist literally takes scissors to the specimen, trying to pry the bill off the skull, because what they're looking at shouldn't exist. It's called Ornithorhynchus anatinus, the platypus. And even today, more than 2 centuries later, after we've mapped its genome, filmed it hunting underwater, studied its venom, it still doesn't make sense. The platypus is a mammal that lays eggs. It has electroreceptors like a shark. It sweats milk. The males carry venom that causes pain so severe, morphine doesn't work. This isn't evolution. This is a creature assembled from spare parts. But here's what no one tells you. The platypus isn't weird because it broke the rules of evolution. It's weird because it's older than the rules we think we know. And understanding why it exists means understanding something darker and stranger about what a mammal really is. Let's rewind. 200 million years ago, dinosaurs rule the Earth. The continents are still fused into Pangea, slowly tearing apart. And in the shadows, beneath ferns the size of buildings, inside burrows, hunting insects at night, are the first mammals. They're small. Most are the size of a mouse. They have fur. They have specialized teeth. And critically, they have 3 tiny bones in their ears that reptiles don't have. Bones that used to be part of the jaw, but migrated during evolution to amplify sound. But here's the thing. Not all of these early mammals give birth the same way. There are 3 groups: placental mammals, us, dogs, whales, bats. The embryo develops inside the mother, nourished by a placenta. Birth happens late. The babies are relatively developed: marsupials, kangaroos, opossums, koalas. Birth happens early. The embryo crawls into a pouch and finishes developing there, latched onto a nipple. And then there's the 3rd group, monotremes. They lay eggs. Today only 5 species remain. 4 species of echidna, and the platypus. These aren't mammals that learned to lay eggs. They never stopped. They're the last survivors of the original mammal blueprint, the one that existed before live birth evolved, before the womb became a nursery. The platypus didn't come from another planet. It came from deep time. It's a ghost from the Mesozoic, a living ancestor, a window into what mammals were before they became what we think mammals are. But that's just the beginning. Let's talk about that bill. It looks like a duck's beak, flat, rubbery, ridiculous. But it's not a beak. It's not made of keratin like a bird's bill. It's skin, soft, leathery, packed with sensors, 40,000 electroreceptors. When the platypus dives underwater, in the muddy rivers of eastern Australia, where visibility is near zero, it closes its eyes, closes its ears, closes its nostrils, and then it hunts in complete sensory darkness. Except it's not dark, not to the platypus. Every living creature generates a bioelectric field. When muscles contract, when nerves fire, electricity pulses through tissue. Shrimp, worms, crayfish, they all glow with invisible voltage. The platypus's bill detects these fields. It sweeps its head side to side, scanning the riverbed like a metal detector, building a 3-dimensional electrical map of its surroundings. This is electroreception. Sharks have it, some fish have it, but no other mammal on Earth has it. Why? Because we lost it. Our ancestors, the ones that climbed onto land 375 million years ago, had electroreceptors. Fish still do. But when vertebrates moved to land, when air replaced water, electroreception stopped working. Air doesn't conduct electricity the way water does. So evolution deleted it. The genes went dormant. But the platypus went back. It returned to the water. And when it did, those ancient genes, silent for hundreds of millions of years, woke up. The platypus didn't evolve something new. It remembered something old. Now, let's talk about how a platypus feeds its young. It doesn't have nipples. You read that right. This is a mammal, defined by the presence of mammary glands, by the production of milk, and it has no nipples. Instead, the mother platypus has patches of skin on her abdomen, mammary glands beneath the surface. When the babies hatch from their eggs, about the size of jelly beans, blind, hairless, they lap milk directly off her fur. The milk seeps out through pores in the skin, like sweat, which raises a question. Is this what milk was originally? One hypothesis suggests that milk didn't start as food. It started as antimicrobial protection. Early mammal ancestors, still laying eggs, still vulnerable, may have secreted fluids onto their eggs to keep them from rotting, from being infected by bacteria or fungi. Over time, hatchlings started licking those secretions. They were nutritious, high in fat, protein, sugars, and evolution noticed. The glands became more specialized, the secretions became richer. Eventually, the fluid became so valuable that the entire reproductive strategy shifted. Why waste energy on a yolk when you can feed the baby directly, continuously, after it hatches? Milk wasn't invented for babies. Babies were redesigned to drink it, and the platypus still does it the old way. No nipples, no suckling, just licking sweat milk off fur, the way the first mammals might have done 200 million years ago. But we're not done. Because there's something darker about the platypus, something that doesn't fit the image of a cute, awkward, egg-laying oddity. Male platypuses have spurs. They're on the hind legs, hollow, sharp, connected to venom glands in the thighs. During mating season, males fight. They grapple in the water, and when one gets the upper hand, it drives the spur into its rival. The venom floods into the tissue, and the pain is immediate, not just sharp, not just intense. It's described by victims, yes, humans have been envenomed, as the worst pain they've ever felt. Worse than broken bones, worse than childbirth, some say. And here's the terrifying part. Painkillers don't work. Morphine? Ineffective. Opioids? Nothing. The pain can last for weeks. In some cases, it never fully goes away. Victims develop chronic pain conditions, hypersensitivity in the affected limb that persists for years. Why? Because platypus venom doesn't just cause pain, it reprograms the nervous system. The venom contains a cocktail of peptides, defensin-like peptides, nerve growth factor, C-type natriuretic peptides. These molecules don't damage tissue. They hijack pain receptors, amplifying signals, creating feedback loops where the nerves keep firing even after the venom is gone. It's not tissue damage, it's neurological warfare. And here's the strangest part. Platypus venom shares almost no chemical similarity with any other venomous animal, not snakes, not spiders, not jellyfish. The platypus invented venom independently, from scratch, using completely different molecular tools. And we don't fully understand why. One theory, sexual selection. The males with the most painful venom win mates. Another theory, territory. The pain is so severe that a single encounter teaches a rival to never come back. But there's a third possibility, one that's darker. What if the venom is a relic? A weapon from a time when competition was more brutal, when monotremes weren't 5 species clinging to the edge of Australia, but a diverse dominant group spread across the southern continents? What if the platypus is the last of something much bigger? Here's what we know. Once, monotremes were everywhere. Fossil evidence shows they lived across South America, Antarctica, Australia, the fragments of the ancient supercontinent Gondwana. Then placental mammals arrived, more efficient, faster reproduction, better parental care. The monotremes were outcompeted. One by one, the lineages went extinct. Today, monotremes survive only in Australia and New Guinea, islands that separated from Gondwana before placental mammals could fully colonize them. The platypus isn't a mistake, it's a refugee. It's what mammals were before we became mammals, before live birth, before nipples, before we abandoned electroreception and eggs and venom. And when you watch a platypus glide through the water, eyes closed, bill sweeping through the dark, reading the electrical whispers of hidden prey, you're not watching something alien, you're watching something ancient, a creature that shouldn't exist, not because it's impossible, but because everything else like it has been erased. The platypus is evolution's rough draft, the blueprint we built ourselves on top of, then buried, but it's still here, still laying eggs in riverbank burrows, still hunting by electrical ghostlight, still carrying venom older than pain itself. It's not from another planet, it's from another Earth, one that existed before us, one where the rules were different. And every time we try to make sense of it, every time we sequence its genome, map its neurons, study its venom, we're forced to admit something humbling. We don't understand mammals as well as we thought, because the platypus was here first, and it remembers.